you can master it.
Correct.
But you got to make sure you got the right pieces to the puzzle.
You got the right pieces to the puzzle.
What I say every day is crazy that a person without nothing can always tell you how to get something. You know, just like I said, yo, a virgin can tell you how to have. It's always somebody that's not in a certain place that can give you advice on how to get there. And I disagree with those. Like I said, those are liabilities. What we just talked about a little while ago. A guy, it's like somebody telling Alex how to hit a baseball, but they never played baseball, been on a baseball field.
He called me earlier, it's like, yo, when you spar, I'm gonna come to the gym. I'm like, I'm gonna spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything, his advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little shit. I'm trying to make sure I do what he says, so a hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate them. I'm just trying to keep pushing it.
The boxing world erupted the moment Floyd Mayweather's name became attached to explosive whispers surrounding a closed-door sparring session involving Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, because when Floyd talks, especially about sparring, insiders listen, and what he allegedly revealed sent shockwaves through gyms, social media, and boxing forums alike, with the most jaw-dropping claim being the words everyone keeps repeating. He got KO'd, a phrase that instantly ignited debate, disbelief, and
don't even stand right. Don't know nothing about boxing. So it's even like the commentators that watch our sports tell you how to tackle, how to catch footballs. And if you correct them and tell them, you know what, you don't know what you're talking about, they get upset. And that's when you hear so many, you hear so many bad stories, because people always want you to tell them what they want to hear. They don't want the truth. And why?
Fascination, because Shakur Stevenson has long been viewed as one of the most defensively sound fighters of his generation, a technician with elite ring IQ, impeccable distance control, and a style many believed made him nearly untouchable in any setting, let alone in sparring. Yet according to Mayweather's alleged account, this wasn't just a rough round or a bad exchange, but a moment that completely flipped narratives and exposed the brutal, unpredictable truth of boxing behind closed doors.
Your stance must be right as far as your pivot. Start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab. This is called a 1-2. Boom, boom. You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. This double jab. Triple jab. Short hook. Wide hook. Short hook. Wide hook. You go to the body, slide over here, slide over here, you drop under shots like this, you go here, 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 back with the jab,
Where ego, pride, and raw competition strip away promotional polish and undefeated mystique, and Floyd, a man who built an empire on understanding what really happens in gyms versus what fans see on fight night, hinted that the sparring between Shakur and Teofimo wasn't friendly work but an intense, pride-fueled clash that escalated quickly, especially given Teofimo's naturally explosive power, fast-twitch athleticism, and mentality that thrives on chaos, contrasting sharply with Shakur's.
An extra hour, anything was gonna make a difference because of the fact that I've been doing it all week. The 6 in the morning, the day before, I've been going super hard for the weight. I'm a real fighter at the end of the day, so I wasn't trying to make a stand for a fighter. I was just...
He got picked on the world team. Every 2.5 years, he's gained weight. He moved up in weight. So, like, the weight gain and him going now is part of his natural growth process and going on. And so, I think he's more adjusted and
Surgical precision and calculated rhythm, and Floyd allegedly suggested that styles make fights even in sparring, and when a sharp counterpuncher like Teofimo times a moment perfectly, defense alone isn't always enough, which is where the story takes its most controversial turn, because Mayweather reportedly implied that Shakur, known for rarely getting hit clean, was caught during an exchange where complacency met aggression, resulting in a knockdown, or in the most extreme retelling, a clean. Knockout, that trainers allegedly rushed to downplay to prevent leaks, yet as always in boxing, secrets never stay buried for long, especially when egos clash and camps talk, and the idea that Shakur could be stopped, even in sparring, challenges the aura built around him since his Olympic days, forcing fans to re-evaluate the belief that elite defense guarantees invincibility, while simultaneously reigniting respect for Teofimo Lopez, a fighter whose career has been defined by extreme highs and
Definitely a hell of an experience. You get that type of knowledge, that type of IQ. I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You seen me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around them days. He said
Bud, come on. Terrence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen.
Straight, boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when the motherfucker trying to run out. When the motherfucker trying to run, there you go.
Even if I don't feel the same way that he feeling at the moment, it don't matter. I still want to hear him out and try to understand what he's saying.
If you hear, only thing he can throw is the hook, because you out the way of the right hand.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he need to soak up, put it into his arsenal, and then he make the best out of everything that he learned from everybody.
Then throw it straight left to the body.
At the end of the day, you don't want to feel like a know-it-all. And the people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. The sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's gonna be very hard to beat Shakur, with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has, and given the opportunity, I think he can pose.
Puzzling lows, but whose raw talent has never been in question, with Floyd's alleged comments framing Teofimo as the kind of fighter who can look ordinary one night and absolutely lethal the next, especially when he feels disrespected or underestimated, and that dynamic allegedly played a huge role in this sparring session, because both fighters entered with something to prove. Shakur wanting to assert technical dominance over a naturally bigger puncher, and Teofimo wanting to remind everyone.
Bringing in some good positive affirmation and thoughts. I try to do all this, as much as possible. I think it's also good for us, not just as fighters, but as human beings. It's good for us, It kind of let us be aware, of the actual things you could write down and actually create and manifest. I wrote down I was going to be a world champion one day. Boom. Did it, I wrote that I was going to be one of the best fighters to live of this time, and boom, we're doing it.
What's it like hanging with this guy? He seems pretty awesome.
It's incredible, man. He's definitely a special human being, in everything he does, in the boxing gym. He's a people's champion, He's constantly giving back to others. You see the human.
That power, timing, and confidence can shatter even the cleanest game plans, and Floyd, having lived through countless sparring wars himself, allegedly emphasized that sparring knockouts happen more often than fans realize, even to elite champions, but they're usually hidden because they don't fit promotional narratives. Yet in this case, the rumor grew legs because of the names involved, the implications for future matchups, and the symbolism of a defensive maestro being caught, which led to.
And it's like, I could always succeed to another level with it, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You gotta have fun with what you do. I love this. I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. This has been 20 years in the making, 20 years in this. And I have so much to do and so much to prove within myself. So mentally, I'm prepared. Physically, I'm more than ready, and emotionally, I'm on fire, I'm on fire with it, because all I ever did was try to be great. you know, and it's no longer trying. I am, you know, I am great. And it's all about just continuing and holding that. So it's all about just staying humble throughout the process, keeping myself level-headed, and really just enjoying each day that we get, because
intense online arguments over whether sparring knockouts even matter, with some fans insisting that gym wars mean nothing compared to fight night, while others argue that repeated gym stories often foreshadow real outcomes, citing countless historical examples where leaked sparring tales later proved prophetic, and Floyd's involvement only added fuel to the fire, because Mayweather's entire legacy is built on mastering risk management, and for him to even allude to Shakur being stopped suggests there was something significant enough to catch his attention, yet
That open. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's nerves in the end. The tempo does. Get up a little higher. Do it. Do it right hand. That's it. Right hand. Quick. Quick. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Mayweather allegedly balanced the revelation by reminding listeners that sparring is not a fight. Headgear, fatigue, weight differences, and experimental tactics all play a role, and a single moment doesn't define a fighter's career, but the psychological impact is real, because once a fighter knows they can be hurt, or stopped, by a certain style, it changes how they approach future opponents. And that's where this story becomes bigger than gossip, because if Shakur and Teofimo ever meet in
the ring,
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson. Obviously,
sure.
you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Yeah, face-off happened, things of that nature, just, you know, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face-to-face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think, I don't think too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, you know, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny.
real fight, this alleged sparring incident becomes mental ammunition, influencing confidence, tactics, and even public perception, with Teofimo potentially entering the ring believing deeply that he's already proven something in private, while Shakur may feel pressure to overcorrect, to prove invulnerability, which historically can be dangerous for defensive fighters who abandon patience to make statements. And Floyd's alleged warning seemed to touch exactly on that point, suggesting that.
I mean, like I said, I watched the whole Olympics. That was a moment, and you know, like I said, at this point, I think that's when everybody really started hearing about you. Like once the Olympics came about, and Floyd flew out there to go see.
Facts.
Floyd was all on you that whole
Facts.
weekend. Just outside looking in, I guess everybody was surprised that you ain't signed with Floyd, because it just felt like niggas is like, oh, he the next Floyd. Floyd, you know, he courting you.
Yeah.
What you feel like? What was it that made you like, you know, not do a deal with Floyd?
See, look, like, you know, a lot of people look at that situation, they be like, yeah, you should have like went with Floyd. But like, I'm a real nigga. I'm gonna be real with fuck it. I'm gonna just say what it is. Like, I'm a real nigga, so like, it's just certain things that I tolerate, I don't tolerate, and it's like, you know, I got around certain people that I felt was like real niggas, and you know, they kind of helped me out with my career, and like, Floyd didn't want to be like involved in that. Like, he didn't want to accept like the real, you know, the real part that he wanted me to like go through it with, you know. I ain't gonna say he wanted me to go through blind, but he wanted me to like do it his way. Right. And I ain't want to do it his way, so it ended up being like I did it my way, and I went with the team I felt was like a better team for me, and I feel like right now it's paid off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, was that a hard decision though? Because you got to think like, this Floyd, like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas grown, you know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd my favorite fighter, right? So it's like, you know, because I work in music, so I see that, like, you know, when it's an artist trying to sign you, it'd be a little different just because you have an emotional attachment to it. Was that a hard decision for you to, like, tell Floyd, like, nah, I'm good?
Yeah, it was, because at the end of the day, Floyd calling my phone, he on the phone, he like, yeah, you could drive the Bugatti, you could like, yeah, so it's like, he all in your head at the same time, but it's like, you still in your...
Shakur's biggest challenge isn't physical recovery from a rumored knockdown, but mental recalibration, because the great ones aren't defined by never getting caught, but by how they respond when the illusion of invincibility is shattered, and Mayweather, a man who prided himself on rarely giving opponents confidence, knows better than anyone how dangerous belief can be in boxing, especially for explosive fighters like Teofimo who thrive when they smell vulnerability, and as the story spread.
And I think this is the year where I'm gonna make them hate me even more.
We gonna lose. We can't lose. Because all we do is win.
You already know what I was popping pills with him, been falling back from killing.
Camps remained silent, which only amplified speculation, because in boxing, silence is rarely accidental, and fans began dissecting old sparring footage, interviews, and body language, looking for clues, replaying moments where Shakur appeared more cautious in recent fights or where Teofimo spoke cryptically about knowing things fans don't, reading deeper meaning into every comment, while analysts debated whether Shakur's style, which relies heavily on reflexes and anticipation, could face.
Devin Haney setting the trend, yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's going to be working that hard, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any host, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock'em sock'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you're watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on.
Diminishing returns against elite athletes who refuse to be outthought and instead force chaotic exchanges, and Floyd's alleged revelation added credibility to that discussion, because Mayweather has always argued that true greatness lies in adaptability, not perfection, and the sparring rumor, whether exaggerated or not, served as a brutal reminder that boxing has no untouchables, only fighters navigating razor-thin margins between dominance and disaster, and even if the phrase, "he got KO'd," turns out to be an exaggeration of a knockdown or momentary stumble, the damage to mythology is already done, because once fans imagine the possibility, the aura shifts, and suddenly Shakur Stevenson is no longer discussed as unbeatable, but as human, while Teofimo Lopez is once again framed as the unpredictable danger who can flip the script on anyone on the right night, and Floyd Mayweather, intentionally or not, once again positioned himself as the ultimate truth-teller of boxing's hidden world, reminding everyone that what happens behind gym doors often matters more than what promoters want you to see, and that in a sport defined by inches, timing, and belief, a single sparring moment, real or rumored, can echo louder than entire highlight reels, reshaping narratives, fueling rivalries, and setting the stage for fights fans didn't even know they needed, because now, whether Shakur and Teofimo ever share a ring or not, the question will always linger in the background, whispered in gyms and shouted online, the same question that keeps boxing endlessly compelling: what really happens when elite meets elite, and how close are even the best to being knocked out when pride, power, and timing collide?